of our proposed parachute prototype was based upon Leonardo da Vinci, who conceived the idea of the parachute in his writings. In this activity, we will explain the materials used in this project and how it was made possible using the laws in physics.
For the theoretical, the proposed prototype design for the device is based upon the experiment called parachute prototype. The parachute is a device for slowing the descent of a person or object through the air that consists of a fabric canopy beneath which the person or object is suspended. And we based it on that experiment to test if the device would not break after its landing.
The increase in speed leads to an increase in the amount of air resistance. Eventually, the force of air resistance becomes large enough to balance the force of gravity. The speed up prompts an expansion in the measure of air opposition. In the long run, the power of air obstruction turns out to be huge enough to adjust the power of gravity. The speed of the prototype parachute decreases because of air resistance, and it also depends on how strong the wind is. It also depends on how did we make the prototype parachute.
To build our parachute, we used only 4 materials. From newspaper, we changed it to Manila paper. This functioned as a device canopy and a box to support the weight of the egg. As stated in Newton's third law of motion, every action has its equal opposite reaction. The forces of the air that was gathered in the canopy will slow down the egg's momentum, lessening the force as soon as the device hits the ground. The scissors are used to cut and form the Manila paper into a square shape to get our desired shape for the parachute prototype. The yarn is used to connect the canopy and the box from the better support, and we also put yarn in the center of the Manila paper that acts as the handle when we release it to prevent the parachute from crumpling. The adhesive tape was used to keep the egg protected during the experimentation and keep everything in place.
Here are the materials used and the step-by-step process of how the prototype was made. First, grab your scissors and cut the middle edges of the Manila paper in order to paste or tape them together. Second, grab your yarn and cut them into 8 equal parts and make a knot in each of its edges. After doing so, start taping them onto the Manila paper. Next, we make a supportive gear or a box to support the egg from its landing. Then we connect the as-if canopy and the supportive box to each other. Tape each part carefully to ensure the safety of the egg. We added a piece of handle to avoid the paper from crumpling while it is falling. We also made sure to use some of the scraps left from the Manila paper and used it as a shield to tighten the space left in the supportive box and to also ensure to lessen the impact of its landing after it falls. Now our prototype device is ready for the test fall. In 1 meter height, the parachute ensured the safety of the egg and saved it from breaking. Next up is the 2-meter test. And just like the first trial, the egg did not crack nor break. And lastly, the second floor test fall. In each trials, the egg always land safe and sound. Therefore, we conclude that our parachute prototype was a success. Thank you for watching!